Hi friends, and welcome back to another episode of My Healthy Sweet Tooth. Today we will be making homemade holiday toffee, so without further ado, let's push up those sleeves and get baking. This recipe is super convenient because it is a no-bake recipe and all you will need is your stovetop and a large pot to make it. So here are the ingredients you'll need. A pinch of sea salt, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 3 tablespoons of tap water, a half a cup of chopped pecans, or you could also use almonds or walnuts or chestnuts even, 1 cup organic cane sugar, 1 cup dark chocolate chips, and lastly 1 cup vegan butter. First thing you're going to want to do is line a 9 by 13 baking dish with parchment paper. A hack I like to use to get the parchment paper to fit perfectly into the baking pan is to crumple it up slightly, so then that way it'll fit its shape. See? And because this recipe is no bake, we want it to be able to come out really easily. So I'm gonna grease the parchment paper with this avocado oil cooking spray, or you can use any cooking spray you have on hand, whether it's olive oil, Pam, or avocado oil. You can go ahead and set this aside now. To start, you're gonna wanna add the butter, sugar, water, vanilla, maple syrup, and salt to a medium-sized pot. Now we can turn on the heat and bring this mixture to a boil. Be careful because this mixture burns really easily, so make sure that you're stirring it consistently. Once the butter is completely melted, which as you can see, our mixture is not quite there yet, you're going to want to start monitoring it with the temperature to make sure that it gets to about 290 degrees. We want to be really specific with that temperature because in the end, we're going to pour this into that baking dish we prepared earlier and then layer it on top with some dark chocolate. So then that way it melts and gets to that perfect caramel point. Because right now we are making homemade caramel. So let's continue mixing until the butter has completely melted. Once the mixture starts to bubble a little bit and the butter has been completely melted, now we can start monitoring the temperature using a thermometer. And you want to keep mixing during this process because this mixture will get really easy to burn at about 280 degrees. So our mixture is at 290 degrees finally, so I'm going to take it off the heat completely so it can cool back down before we transfer it into our lined baking dish we prepared earlier. Your mixture should look like a bubbly caramel sauce, ignoring that part up there that I burnt a little bit of, but this is what your mixture should look like once it's done bubbling. Now we want to quickly transfer this caramel mixture we just made into the prepared baking dish. Notice how it perfectly resembles caramel because we just made our homemade, vegan, healthy caramel. I want to create nice thin slices, so I'm not going to spread out the mixture completely because the baking dish is too big for the amount of caramel sauce we just made. But now, once you've transferred it, you can go ahead and let it harden and sit for about 5 minutes or so. Once we've let the caramel mixture sit for about 3 to 5 minutes and it looks something like this, we can now sprinkle the dark chocolate chips on top as they'll melt to create a nice even layer of chocolate. Once your chocolate has melted to create a nice even layer on top of the hardened caramel, we can go ahead and add our chopped pecans. Sprinkle them on top. We want to sprinkle on the pecans now while the chocolate is still wet, so that way they'll harden with the chocolate and stick. Plus, I think that they add a nice crunch and they complement the chocolate and the caramel really well. Once we're done sprinkling on top the pecans, that's it. It's just that simple. Now we can let the toffee cool completely at room temperature before slicing it up into uneven pieces and enjoying. Thank you so much for watching this episode of My Healthy Sweet Tooth, and be sure to subscribe to Medfield TV for more videos. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, give me a big thumbs up, and it would really mean a lot if you commented down below and followed my blog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!